So as I was saying, my phone was a really big part of the construction because it allowed me to have access to Tumblr whenever, and I was able to upload posts on the go and able to take pictures with each other when we were filming. This was really helpful because Tumblr was at my disposal at whatever time I wanted. Also, the camcorder that we were given had a USB already inside of it, and this made the whole uploading and downloading transition to the school computer much easier because we didn't have to download any special program, and it was much simpler. Also, my Mac laptop played a huge part in the construction because I actually downloaded Photoshop, the free trial, for a week, and I was able to do the film poster and the film magazine both at home and in school, and this really helped just speed up the process, and also really helped us with ideas because I was able to relax and still do the film poster and the magazine cover at home. As I mentioned, we did use Photoshop, and Photoshop was what we used at school to create the magazine and the film poster. I do have some experience with Photoshop because I used it in year 11 for GCSEs, but nowhere in as much detail as I have in A level. I definitely explored different tools and different things that you can do on Photoshop that I never knew you could do. And I definitely learned a lot during this experience. Another editing software that we were introduced to was Adobe Premiere Elements, and this was really useful because it was completely different to what we worked with last year, and it allowed us to create a product that looked more realistic and looked more professional. Moving on to construction and any extras. One of my group members, Drin, had access to these editing softwares that you see on screen, which was Final Cut Pro and Sony Vegas Pro. These two were used to create the ident that is at the beginning of our film trailer. We wouldn't have been able to do it without these two softwares because they are definitely more developed than Adobe Premiere Elements. Therefore, we do feel like we were lucky enough to have the option to work with these softwares because they were definitely more complex, but they were really fun to work with. Okay, so in comparison of the editing software in AS to A level, so in AS we worked with iMovie, which is quite basic, but it still gets the job done. There's some pros but a lot of cons. iMovie was too basic sometimes, and it lacked a variety of fonts, sounds, transitions, and it made the footage that we filmed seem a bit amateur. However, We still managed to get a good grade, despite the software, but it's not a bad software, it's just can be a bit too simple sometimes to use. But however, in A-level, we were upgraded to Adobe Premiere Elements, and this was definitely a step up, and you could see a major difference between these two softwares. The editing in Adobe Premiere Elements is much more complex in comparison to iMovie, because you're able to move clips above each other, able to merge, and also the transitions. There's a variety of transitions, a variety of fonts, and also a variety of sounds. So this was a really big positive for Adobe Premiere Elements. The editing style also made our trailer seem quite professional, and that definitely wouldn't have been able to happen if we were to use iMovie. The software, the editing software, did definitely help us get the grade that we got. So, use of media technologies within the evaluation stage. So the most common websites that I used for my evaluation questions would have to be YouTube, Screencast-O-Matic, and Prezi. YouTube because I upload all my content on there because it's the easiest to embed into Tumblr. Screencast-O-Matic is obviously a great platform to use to speak over. For example, what I'm doing now, I'm speaking over a Prezi. It allows me to delve into more detail without having to write as much, and it also makes my presentations become less text heavy and rather become more media rich. However, a crucial part for my evaluation, for the evaluation stage, is definitely my phone and laptop, as I use them to create anything, and without them I wouldn't be able to even have access to any of these websites above. At this time and at the moment, the only websites that I have used for the evaluation questions have been YouTube, Screencast-O-Matic, and Prezi, but these might not be the only websites that I use for my evaluation questions, because there's many more websites that offer great services as well.